Program 995, and you're viewing this on Christmas Eve, and Uranus stations tomorrow on Christmas Day. Oh, it's shaky. There's also a lot of unusual enlightenment going around, because the last new moon back on December 10th or so was at 19 degrees of Sag, trines Uranus. So Uranus could be kind of happy. I got him pictured here kind of sad because Pluto's been squaring him for a couple years, and it's not an easy thing to be an astrologer, a scientist, a common sense thinking person in this country of ours. Other places in the world are more friendly to Aquarian spirits, but it's tough here. I can tell you. Anyway, we're going to go around this chart. I've drawn one up for you here. And we've still got Saturn squaring Neptune. I'll get to that later. And eek, dengue fever, water. I said water problems, and boy was I wrong. It wasn't waves and storms. It was the water in the cup in your backyard. And it's even strangely more fearful. And you know, it's one article in the paper said this is like Jaws. Nobody's talking about it. And I think most people think it's this deadly disease, and the fear is amazing. But, you know, that's the Saturn-Neptune square, and we still have our Pluto squaring Uranus here. Yep. But there's some good things around. Let's see if we can't catch a few for you. We're going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern, and as we do, it makes angles to the various people, the bodies, the planets. Call them angels or guides or gods or whatever, but as it makes these angles, all multiples of 30, I put the good ones in blue, sextiles and trines. The tough ones, the oppositions, squares, in red, which produce tension. So you could think of this like relaxation, tension, with added flavor of the characters, huh? Yeah, and if you're on the Thursday night show, you're right in here. Moon's probably in Gemini when you start your Christmas Eve, and then slips into Cancer. And don't expect to stay up late, Dad, and get stuff done, because the moon squares. Oh, that's the full moon. That's what that is. There's a full moon here. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning. Friday morning. So we got full moon. And my policy is, you know, on full moons, don't do nothing. Do as little as possible. So I hope you got all your plans together, and expect that there will be over-exaggerated emotions. Now, the nice thing about this full moon is it does trine Neptune, the planet of Pisces and the age of Pisces, and the religion, art, music, the color, the sparkles. The best part of Christmas is all the sparkly things to me put on a tree that's a real tree, not a plastic one. Come on, guys. You gotta be able to smell it. Oh boy. So there it is Friday morning, and keep the lights on and the sparkles going, and I hope you got a real tree. And you just got to ignore the over-exaggerated emotions of a full moon. You know, it's not easy. Like I say, don't try not to do serious stuff on Friday, because you're still under the light of a wobbly emotional mind. Yes, it's your emotional mind. That's what the moon is. And in Cancer here, moon rules Cancer, right? Moon's in Cancer. I got full moon in Cancer. So Friday's a lunacy day for a lot of us. Now it could also be, you know, wonderful song and color and sparkles and religious artistic bliss. You know, by the time you get, you know, after breakfast, probably around lunchtime here, with that trine to Neptune. Very nice. But don't let your guard down, because here's Uranus and Pluto, and Uranus stations here. When Uranus stations, things, the high side of it is suddenly you realize what astrology really means. whoa, 2,000 years of ignorance in the age of Pisces, and now finally we're beginning to understand reality. No, it isn't always what Newton said either. It's more wonderful than even that. Telepathy is true, and other things are true, and my goodness, there's all sorts of common sense triumphs. Also shaky, feeling of weirdness, being alone. Now, the thing is, Pluto comes first. First is an opposition to Pluto. More policemen, more guns, come on. Enough threats. Makes you feel like flight or fight. That's what Pluto is. So you're going to catch that first, just after dinner with the opposition to Pluto. Eek, a bug, we call it. Well, instead of slapping him or stepping on him, why don't you let him go and just give him a smile and see what happens? I've been letting spiders go lately, and I don't know what the result is yet, but I'm trying it out. Anyway, this is square to Uranus. Now Uranus is stationing, and so this is possible problems with electrical things and motors and internet, and this doesn't have to be just a whirlwind. I mean, this shows up in Hawaii. It's not so hot. This looks like a hurricane warning, and hopefully it's not a siren in the middle of your Christmas night saying, there's an earthquake over there, tsunami warning. No, hopefully this is something, easier, and maybe it's something like a solar flare, which would interrupt your cable television a little bit or something. Try to minimize it, whatever it is. But it's shaky, and it's a little panicky, and it comes in pretty much on Christmas night. Ugh. Can't be too tough. There's a problem communicating Saturday morning with a Mercury problem, but here's Jupiter and Venus. Oh boy, here's pleasure, here's fun, here's open, honest affection and laughing and partying. Now Mars is here. Mars comes in after the Jupiter-Venus sextiles and trines. We have a square to Mars, and people get selfish and self-centered, and they get hot and they get angry. It's just before dinner. So you stick with the party and the laughing and the girls and the good feelings and lots of love. And when that Mars comes along and you get irritated, ask yourself what you're protecting. If you figure it out, you won't be angry. You'll just get the physical work done. That's what Saturday afternoon and evening is for. On Sunday, the moon shifts into Leo on the 27th, and you get organized in the evening. There's a trine to Saturn. And here's the beauty. Here's the moon trining Uranus Monday morning. Now, Uranus just stopped here on the 25th. And so, the higher side of this planet, the enlightenment of the mind, is really going. Just think a little bit about, how I started out in astrology. Everybody said, oh, that's just silly. I said, well, suppose it's true. And I just started investigating like it was true. And boy, things popped. And reality is a little different than I thought. So, a different worldview. The Mayans said we're in the period now of not reading the Word of God so much anymore, but a new idea unites humanity. So here's a new idea that could unite humanity. Monday morning. Cross your fingers. Now here's the thing. There is a threat from Uranus. When you look at the astrocartography, I'll show you in a moment, for the Big Island. And, it kind of looks like wind damage. It's the old hurricane coming at you stuff. And so, if you're thinking common sense on Monday, here late Monday night, early Tuesday morning is a nice trine to Mars. And this is a good time to go out and fix things, put things away, check things that are loose and might fly around in case there is a wind problem coming at us. And make sure you got flashlights, because you could have power outages. And prepare for power outs and winds. That's the problem with Uranus. Anyway, you'll feel like doing it Monday morning or Tuesday morning on the 29th, at least up until close to lunchtime, and then there's a square to Venus, and oh, I'm so tired. Ate too many sweets. Time to rest. Hard to get rest Tuesday morning, though, on the 29th. Yeah. There's confusion Tuesday night. Here's the moon opposing Neptune. And, it seems to have a trine to the sun, so we feel kind of confident Tuesday night, but still there's confusion. And we're worried about water problems. And the square to Saturn, here's authority. And maybe dengue is still around here. I don't know. Maybe there's some water concerns yet on the 29th. Moon's in Virgo. It's kind of cold Wednesday morning on the 30th because the moon's squaring Neptune, squaring Saturn. There's the cold, and opposing Neptune. There could be ice, could be problems in different places over ice Wednesday morning. But we kind of got the emergency crews out Wednesday afternoon. The moon trines Pluto. Everybody's getting more happy as the moon approaches Jupiter, which happens late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. The moon goes by Jupiter right here. And it's always fun to have Jupiter around. There's always some laughs and some good humor. And, well, here it is here, excuse me. This is the edge of Thursday. And here's the North Node. A lot of mothering and nurturing going on here on Thursday morning. Here's the 31st. This is a good time for a holiday. Take Thursday off and have your party on Thursday. And people will laugh and take care of each other while the moon's in Virgo. Yeah, 8, 9 o'clock, the moon shifts into Libra, starts to feel a little different. We're still kind of organized all the way through Friday, January 1st, New Year's Day. But, this has been a shaky, strange Christmas. And, us on the Big Island still got to be a bit prepared because here, Friday night, early Saturday morning, the 2nd, is the Uranus-Pluto square. The sun is on it, and we could have disruptions, and we could have power outages, and here we're not liking Uranus. No, the sun's squaring it, and the moon's opposing it, and, whatever this Uranus stuff is going on, it may be enlightening for some of you with your charts, but it's not going to be a happy one on the Big Island. I don't know why. Maybe major power problems of some kind, electrical things. But you're going to see it come in here probably Friday night, Saturday morning. Maybe it just got so doggone cold that the power, too much power, too many, that's not it. Whatever it is, Friday night is not normal. Friday afternoon sounds pretty good. You may think you got yourself all organized after lunch Friday on the January 1st, and it'll feel like that. But look out late at night here, late Friday night, early Saturday morning. The battery's dead, the power goes out, you can't do what you want, you feel a little panicky. Here's the square to Pluto. Eek, a bug! Policemen, guns, sirens, and here's the opposition to Uranus. Is that an earthquake? Is that a shaking? What is that? Well, it's very shaky here. We're going to have Friday night, Saturdays shaking us up for the next couple of weeks after this, pretty much through January. Due to that nasty full moon on Christmas, that's what set it off. Whatever it is, everybody's Saturday night, the moon's still in Libra on the 2nd, and it's in the Mars zone. It really hits Mars is up by Sunday on the 3rd. Mars is here, and the moon will hit it Sunday morning, and people will be out doing physical stuff. There's a square to Mercury, so it's difficult to people going too fast, being too loud Sunday morning, And there should be some constructive fixings going on here, especially if we had, damage here, which is what I expect, that the damage would show up Saturday morning, and by Sunday morning, the young guys are out fixing things, excuse me. So here's the problem period, here's the fixing period. Not exactly your normal holiday, is it? No, you're honest there. Goodness. Not really normal at all.